you need to make sure you set yourself up for success from the start. You need to ask yourself, am I in a good position to lose fat right now? If you are stuck in your current body and maintaining your body weight and already eating low calories, you're not in a good position to lose weight. You need to do an extra step before you go into that fat loss phase. And that is what I want to go through in this video today. I want to explain how eating more can actually help you lose weight long term if you are someone that is yo-yo dieting or has been chronically under eating for years and stuck in your body on low calories. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jodie and I help you change your beliefs so you can change your body, your health, and your life. Now this video, I'm going to explain how eating more can help you lose fat long term if you are someone that has been stuck on low calories or in a yo-yo dieting cycle for a long time. Now, if you came to me with this problem, what I would suggest that you do is that you use a reverse diet to build your metabolism back up and increase your calories to put you in a better position to start a fat loss phase down the line. A reverse diet is kind of the opposite of a diet, but it's not really. So a diet is where you cut calories and you lose weight. And what happens when you do that is your metabolism adapts to the lower intake of food. So even if you start a diet on say 2,000 calories, your metabolism will adapt to that, and then that amount of food won't be enough of a stimulus anymore to keep losing fat. So then you're going to have to drop your calories again, and your metabolism will adapt again, and it will keep adapting. So what a reverse diet does is it allows your metabolism to adapt in the opposite direction. So you technically build your metabolism back up to a higher intake of food, which is going to put you in a much better position to lose fat long term. Because if you're stuck eating only 1,200 calories already, cutting more calories from that or adding more cardio is going to dramatically affect your health in a negative way. You're also going to be very, very hungry. You're going to be super tired. You're going to be miserable and far less likely to succeed at a fat loss diet because of that. Like, it's just going to be very hard to stick to even lower calories or more exercise. So that's one purpose of a reverse diet, to slowly build your metabolism back up to put you into a better position for fat loss. You can also use it after a fat loss diet to help prevent weight gain as you build your calories back up. So with a reverse diet, that is super important. You want to make sure that as you're adding calories, your body weight maintains itself. So your body weight should stay fairly stable. You might go up a little bit, like you might gain a tiny bit of fat, but if done correctly, your body weight should maintain itself or should stay stable as you slowly increase those calories. So this video, I'm going to bring out the whiteboard and show you how to set this up. I do want to emphasize that the context of this video is if you're stuck on low calories, and if you're someone who wants to reverse diet out of a fat loss phase or after a fat loss phase to maintain your weight but then be able to eat more food, you might be able to use it like this, but I would actually probably set it up a slightly different way. I'll probably make a video on that specific situation in the future, but this situation is how I would use a reverse diet before a fat loss phase. And again, everyone is different and reverse dieting is kind of complicated. So if you're unsure, I recommend you speak to a coach about it and only take what you feel applies from this. Like, it is a general example because I want to make it as simplified as possible so you actually understand it. But if you were a client working with me, I might adjust things week by week according to progress, and it might not be as clear cut as I'm going to demonstrate it now. All right, so first step of a reverse diet. This is very important. You want to make sure it actually applies to you. So if you are someone that is eating low calories, or you think you're eating low calories, if you came to me, what I would tell you to do is to go and track your food for a week, and don't try and make it less, or don't try and make it what you think I would want it to be. Track your food as it is now, as you're eating it, weigh it out on a digital scale, track it into a food diary like MyFitnessPal, and actually see what your average daily calorie intake is once you've tracked your food. Because a lot of the time, this whole eating more to lose weight thing, it doesn't apply to majority of the people out there, but there is a specific population of you that this will actually work for you and help you. But you really want to make sure it applies to you before you start a reverse diet. And then if you were a client of mine, what I would also do is, once you have tracked your food for that week, I would make you track your food for another 2 weeks on those calories. So just say we estimate that you should be able to lose fat on 1300 calories. I would make you track your food at 1300 calories for 2 weeks, monitor body weight and monitor your body waist measurement. If nothing is changing after 2 weeks, then I would start a reverse diet, and this situation does apply to you. Again, I want to emphasize how important that is. So many people think they're not eating enough food, or think they're eating like 1300 calories, 1200 calories. And when they go and track properly and accurately, they actually find that they're eating far more food. So you want to track everything: oil, any bites and little snacks and nibbles of food, drinks on the weekend, everything counts. And yeah, you really want to make sure this applies to you before you actually start. So step number 2 is to commit. A reverse diet is not easy. That's why step 1 is so important, because with a reverse diet, you are not going to see changes for weeks, like months. We're looking at making a time investment of like 12 weeks or more, sometimes a bit less, but just depending on you. But it's going to take time, and you're not going to see fat loss progress at all. Your body weight should stay the same. It might even go up a little bit, and you have to be mentally okay with that. The benefits long term mean that you will be able to lose fat on a higher calorie intake, but short term, you really need to be ready to commit and do it properly. So step 3 is to set it up. So this is how I would set up your reverse diet. Basically, you have your current intake of food. Now, this is an example again, so don't take these numbers and apply it to your situation. You've got to work out these numbers for yourself. And I'm going to link everything in the description box that I think will help you to do this. You've got your current intake of food as 1300 calories, let's say. And then what you need to do is you need to estimate what your total daily energy expenditure should be based on your current stats. So your body weight, your body fat percentage, and your age, whether you're female or male. You can do this by going to an article that I've written, or you can download my fat loss guide, which also has all the information in on how to estimate your total daily energy expenditure, and also how to work out your macros and everything. So make sure you check out those articles if you need help doing that. But in terms of the reverse diet, you will have your current intake based on how much food you're eating now, and then you've got to estimate your total daily energy expenditure. Let's just say it's 2000 calories. So that's a gap of 700 calories. And the goal of your reverse diet then is going to be to try and build up your metabolism by 700 calories so that you're maintaining your weight on 2000 calories. Your starting macros for the reverse diet will be 1300 calories, and that's going to be 132 grams of protein, 50 grams of fat, 80 grams of carb. That's where you're starting. Again, if you need help figuring out how I calculated that, it's just easiest to go read the article that I'm going to link, because otherwise this video will take forever. So this here is your starting position, right? So you've got 1300 calories. Those will be your macros. I haven't put the macros down here because it's going to make it too complicated. Really what matters with your macros is your protein and your calories. So as long as you're hitting your protein target and your calorie target, carbs and fats don't really matter, but for completion, I put them in as well. So that's your starting body weight, that is your starting calorie intake. And then we get to step 4 of the reverse diet. You're going to add calories slowly, right? And this is very important. So every week, or every 2 weeks actually, so because you've been stuck on 1300 calories for weeks, we jump straight into 1400 calories in week 2. How many calories you add really depends on your progress. I like to add between 5% and 10%, or usually that works out to be around 100 calories. Somewhere like in the middle of 5 to 10% is often 100 calories. So to keep it simple, we're just gonna add 100 calories in this example. In terms of your macros, I would keep the protein the same because that's just going to be set at 1 times your body weight in pounds. And then with fat and carbs, I like to break it down about half. So add 15 grams of carbs and 5 grams of fat every 2 weeks. So we'll keep it simple though, just keep it to the calories for this, but that's what I would do in terms of the macros. So you will see week 2 and week 3, we're going to stick to 1400 calories. And then week 4, so that's 2 weeks, we're staying at 1400 calories. And then week 4, we're gonna increase it to 1500 calories. And then week 5, we're gonna stay on 1500 calories. And then week 6, so that's another 2 weeks gone. Week 6, we're gonna increase it another 100 calories to 1600 calories. Now what you'll notice, this is a hypothetical example, but I would be tracking your body weight every day and getting an average for the week. And what you'll probably find is there's like small fluctuations. So see, this has gone up to 60.5 kilograms, and then it stayed around 60.5 kilograms, and now it's dropped to 60. Now it's gone up to 61, and then it's gone back down to 60.5. So that is fairly stable, and that's the point of this. It doesn't have to be spot on exact, but you want it to be, you don't want it to be going up in a like linear kind of trend. You want it week by week to be kind of staying around the same like starting point. You might slowly increase up a little bit, like you've jumped up to 61 here, but I would still call that fairly stable, especially because you're adding food. So you're slowly adding calories and your body weight is staying the same. Now, if your body weight just say started going up like 61.5 and then it went to 62, I would stick to 1400 calories for an extra week here, and then hopefully it kind of either goes back down a bit or it maintains again, and then you can increase calories. So you want to increase calories by 100 about every 2 weeks. Sometimes I'll do it a bit less, honestly. Sometimes if body weight is fluctuating a bit too much, then I will keep calories the same for an extra week, and you kind of just got to assess it as you're going along. But the ultimate goal is to keep body weight stable, and then after probably about, I don't know how many weeks, but the goal is to reach that 2000 calories. And then once you hit that 2000 calories and you're maintaining your weight, that's when you are in a good position to start a fat loss phase. So that brings me to step 5, start fat loss. Again, once you reach that 2000 calories, you have to reassess whether you're in a good place to start fat loss. Just because your metabolism has increased now and you can eat more food doesn't necessarily mean you're ready for fat loss. Like, reverse dieting is hard. You have just dieted for probably 12 weeks or more. So you need to mentally assess again whether you're ready to cut calories now. You might want to have a break, which is fine. You can maintain your weight on 2000 calories, stick with that for a while, and deal with anything that might be going on in life. If you're dealing with stressful situations, if you want to go on holidays and you want a break, that's fine. Then come back and commit to the fat loss phase. And how you'd set up the fat loss phase is simply, I would take off around 20% from that 2000 calories, and that will be your new calorie target for every day. So what that would look like for fat loss is, say you start on 2000 and then you create a deficit. Say you take off 500 calories, so then your calorie deficit is 1500 calories. And what that means is you're going to start losing fat on 1500 calories as opposed to the 1300 calories you were stuck on. So you were stuck on 1300 calories, you should be able to make progress and lose fat on 1500 calories now. Whereas before you would have had to cut from 1300, which it's gonna be very unhealthy to do that. Unless you're like a super tiny female, then you might be able to drop lower, but you don't want to drop so low that you're not giving your body energy for essential functions. That's how I would eat more to lose weight. Again, this video is very specific for a specific group of people. It is not for you if you are someone that is maintaining your weight on 2000 calories or 1800 calories. You don't need a reverse diet, then you can just start a fat loss phase. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me. I put that link in the description box as well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.